What is faith? Is it just believing? Believing in something? Anything? Well, let me say you have a good friend. He tells you a story and you believe him because you trust his truthfulness. That is, you have faith in him and thus in his account, at least if it sounds credible. This is one kind of faith. It is based on trust. Then, what kind of faith is religious faith? Briefly, the answer to this question is that you trust a miraculous story that is told over and over again by a kind of priesthood, claiming that their story is true. It implies that you trust the priesthood the way you trust your friend, who you know very well. Do you know these priests like you know him or her? Most probably not. Then it is also a matter of credibility. Remember the German Nazi minister of propaganda saying that if you tell a lie persistently enough, it will become truth in the minds of people. He had a very good point. People trusted those authorities, and the Nazi ideology almost replaced religion, as long as it lasted, that is. So why trust the clergy? Why adopt their faith, their religion? The pattern is the same. The religious account has been massaged into the minds of people for centuries. Obviously, we need to define religion. The Encyclopedia Britannica says that religion is, quote, human beings' relations to that which they regard as holy, sacred, absolute, spiritual, divine, and worthy of especial reverence. It is also commonly regarded as consisting of the way people deal with ultimate concerns about their lives and their fate after death. Unquote. Further, quote, worship, moral, conduct, right belief, and participation in religious institutions are among the constituent elements of the religious life. Unquote. The first part points towards the content of the belief that lies beneath faith. In the second part, though, we should note right belief and participation in religious institutions. What is right belief? Can it possibly be what you have been told to believe? Really? Could it alternatively be that which you actually believe without any religious guidance or influence? You may wonder if you are at all possible to believe in something entirely without any guidance at all. Possibly not. But you will always be able to build your own understanding of life and the world by taking a position based on critical thinking. Such thinking first needs to rid itself of all fixed opinions and faiths, as well as of emotional impulses. You need to realize that religion is loaded with emotion, which is the mechanism all preaching and all propaganda plays on. I do not say that emotion is worthless, but it must step aside for the clarity of thinking. Now, who defines right belief? The priesthood, the clergy, based on scripture and tradition to varying degrees, depending on the basics of the religion in question. In Christianity, it is theology producing interpretations of the holy text. This becomes the dogma that are propagated through the religious institutions and the church. For centuries, these dogmata were enforced on people, under the threat of that any deviating opinions would lead to the heretic to a flaming death. Today it works more softly, yet fundamentalism is present in all major religions, just waiting to rid the world of heresies. Participation in religious institutions, or of any faith, is still obligatory where fundamentalists run the show. Such participation is an important part of the indoctrination that takes place. Intellectually, one may hesitate, but when you are included in rites and ceremonies, you are also emotionally influenced. So also, stories like birth and death of a hero will call upon your emotional body as you are guided through the drama and to some degree led to feel participation. It is all a matter of very simple psychology. In modern society, we are all influenced by commercial advertisements and by propaganda, both political, ideological and religious. Clinging to a political ideology differs very much from adhering to a religious faith. Both may take you down the road to fundamentalist fanaticism. It all grows from your need for meaning. Further, born into a certain society based on certain religion or ideology, it is difficult to escape the pressure of conformity, into which a certain meaning is inherent. It will demand a huge personal effort. Psychologically, we could define religion as the adoption of a father or other divinity that makes us feel safe, comfortable, and takes away the fear of death. With the help of religion, you also have preconceived explanations for even every mystery of life and even of everything that happens to you and in the world. It is God's will. Every shit thing that comes your way is designed by God to test you and teach you to bend knee and neck, to drop flat on the ground or stand facing a wall nodding like crazy. Religion is in fact a philosophy carried away into the absurd. It permits no deviations, no questioning. Further, it is not delivered to you as a proposition or a theory, an idea or philosophical thought open to discussion. Defined as truth and based on dogma, it is massaged into your head from early childhood, fed into you through education, social interaction, ritual and pure and simple propaganda. It is hard to escape. It demands a real effort just to get your head above it. So no wonder most people become sheep. Yes, a flock of sheep is exactly what the church, the mosque, the synagogue and the temple want. To rule the minds of people is a question of power, and that is the aim of the clerical hierarchy. In order to obtain and keep this power of mind control, it has burned books and people for centuries, and even in this modern day there is a fervent religious hunt for certain kinds of books in libraries. Books to be forbidden. Even in the US, the land of the brave and the free. In a few years, more than 2,000 titles have been purged from US libraries by Christian fundamentalists under a motto seemingly like, "Thou shalt not think by thyself." Islamic, Judaic, Hindu and Buddhist fundamentalism has also raised their heads and committed atrocities, non-submissive individuals holding the wrong faith. Or not. Religion here works like a whip. Hand in hand with the religious power comes the political. Religion and politics have shared bed for centuries with a simple aim to keep populations under control and service to the powerful. This is why about 99% of the people in the world are still serfs, even though most refuse to admit it, being paid workers. Religion wields a huge power over people. It is an important factor in ensuring the submission of the masses. Karl Marx is said to have defined religion as opium to the people, and he may be right. It works as an anesthesia to the pains of living, an underprivileged life, and ensures that prayer takes the place of revolution, at least until the pain becomes unbearable. Religion differs from faith. You may have faith in a divine being or an entire pantheon without adhering to a specific religion. There is no need for a pile of dogma or a hierarchy of clericals between you and God or gods. There is a direct way of access to higher knowledge, where religion, its dogma, its institutions, work as an obstacle. There are indeed intended to be obstacles to insights that would result in the fall of clerical hierarchies, the ruin of their power and status. Insight and critical awareness are contagious, and sure to follow will be the fall of political and ideological hierarchies as well as their power. No doubt, the powers that are will tremble once a majority wakes up and discovers that power resides in them, that they have power in themselves. Thus we may understand why politics goes to bed with religion. There is a different faith that needs some attention, the faith in yourself, your own power, competence and insight. True, if the God of your heart is divine in the sense of being omnipotent, omniscient and omnipresent, that God is obviously part of you, present in you, and there is no distance at all to overcome. It is this consciousness, pure and unlimited, a consciousness within every fiber of your being and throughout the entire eternal cosmos. Then you are divine. You are here and now, a fragment, temporarily individualized and present on a small planet, yet always integrated in the cosmic. No wonder your smallness may seem intimidating, but you must not let religion play with this feeling. You must fearlessly dive into your smallness to understand your oneness with all. Just try, and you will see.